Hi, my name's Tom Mullica. I'm a magician, by the way, and all magicians have a rabbit. You want to see mine? That's the Walsh rabbit. The Walsh rabbit was originally an idea from Russ Walsh, a very famous magician who produced and manufactured the world-famous appearing cane that every magician has used. It was a very universal prop. Everyone used it. He had a production table. It was called the Russ Walsh production table. It was very flimsy. It didn't really hold anything. It was just used as a production item. I always liked it, so I remade it, and this was the original one right here. I made this about 35 years ago. Doty, J.C. Doty, my dear friend from Atlanta, Georgia, he and I designed this. Basically, it's a top with a bungee cord that runs down through the sections, and a knot is tied here so that it stays inside. Well, this is the original, and this is the new one, and I hope you see the difference. The original is much lower because the center shaft of the table is closer to the floor than this one, the new one is. You can see the difference. This is much higher off the floor, the distance from here to here, as the original, which is really good because that gives this much more strength than this one. And it also, I've made the table taller. Now the table is basically, I found the strongest, best music stand I could find, and I altered it, I bought it, I cut it off, I had all of the rivets removed, I replaced them with bolts and lock nuts, so you can adjust them to open easily, or if something is tight you can adjust them to open faster or slower. These right here, these little knobs were manufactured, they were fabricated for the table, and what they do is, it's a round, thick edge that makes it very easy for this piece right here to go into. It guides it in because it's made with a round lip at the top, and this one up here is the same. This right here has a beautiful round top. This is glued on so that the table flips right on with no problem. These, I think, are really one of the secrets of the table. Now, if for any reason these come loose, they won't break, but if they come loose, just glue them back on. That's what I did, and I use Loctite. It's a gel Loctite, and it's a Permabond type glue, and it works great. But if for any reason over the years this becomes loose, just use Loctite. I covered it with a beautiful felt top, and in the flange part up here, the bungee cord runs up to the top. There's a knot underneath. Inside the flange is cut deeper, so the knot up here is hidden by the flange and then covered by the velvet. So, it's a great table. One of the things that I found out over the years, if you take a rabbit and if you produce it, when you place it down, if you place it down lightly, it has a flimsy look. That's because it hasn't had the chance for all of the weight of the table to push these legs outward to get the maximum load on this catch and everything else. You can just see that it's loose here, but that looseness is what causes it to open. Now, to guide it to open, you can do two things. You can, when you pull it out, basically when you pull it out from behind your back, and I'll show you that in a minute, but when you produce it and you get to this point, to make all three legs fall down, either twist it, I just twisted it with my fingers, or the other way is you can shake it. Now if you shake it and it starts to come down, I found I'll just give it another little toss, put it down solid. But remember, the most important part of the production of this table is when you produce it, the legs come down, put it down to the floor forcefully so it looks like a solid table, which it is. Now the rabbit does not have to be produced from your back. It can be produced from any item that's long enough and wide enough to hold the table in its collapsed position. But I fabricated the back holder This actually took more man hours and work than the table itself did. This was designed to hold the table in a collapsed position, hanging on your back and ready for a production. I'll show you how to do that right now. These are the instructions to put the table onto the holder. First of all, just collapse the legs like so. Now place the tabletop. First of all, this must be on the table itself. Now you put the tabletop up into the guides, like so. Now just pull up and come towards you. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is to break the table at the second joint and bring the legs up to the left. So you now have the holder, and the table is in the grips. You've got all of the leg section here. Now this leg section can be turned. It can be revolved at this point. And the reason is the bungee cord is running up through here and it's not attached to the sides. So what you want to do is you want to bring the side that has this lever, you want to put that in the down position so that you can grip right here and put your finger on that lever. That's what you want to do. You want to have your finger here. You have all of the legs of the table to the left of the tabletop, just like this. Now you can't get this lever into this notch because you have to pull it back first. So come to the front of the table, the top, and just come backwards with that about 2 inches. And now as you see, this little clip can go inside that slit. And now you just push forward, and now the table is in a hanging position. I always check the legs up here to make sure that they're free. Just pull all of the legs out so that they're not tucked in behind that. Make sure all of the legs are free. That's basically the setup right here. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to place this on your back and how to take the table from the back holder. Now you take the whole unit in your right hand. I turn it around and place it so that this belt notch right here is towards your body. Okay, this goes down your pants. And just push it all the way, make it firmly seated. Now the material, your jacket or your shirt, goes up over the table. You may have to reposition it, just make sure it's tight on your belt. Okay? Any adjustments, just do whatever you have to do to make it feel comfortable. It won't fall off, but make it comfortable. So now you can walk around and you can produce it at any time you'd like. This is how it's produced. This hand, I do my right hand. If you're left hand, obviously it's a mirror image. I take the right hand and I come back, and what I do at that point, my index finger and thumb goes to this bottom holder right here. This is the holder that's keeping the table from going all the way down. So the index finger and thumb goes to the right and left of that and touches the plexiglass. You want to be pushing on the plexiglass, not on this little clip. So right there, so what you do now is you push up. Now you reposition your hand because you're ready to take the whole thing out. So you bring this out, let it open up. And you know, I've been working for so long, I need a shave. Have you noticed? Yeah, I have to go shave, so thanks again.